Hello, Durud and Shalom. Guys, how's my audio? Inside Iran, in the city of Mashhad, the holiest city, one of the holiest city. I think it's it's either Qom or Mashhad, okay? But both of these are the holiest cities in Iran. I would say actually Mashhad is the holiest city. So yes, this is in the holiest city in Iran. We have major protests, and the reason why this one is a big deal is something I will explain to you guys as we go on, because what people are chanting is on a different level. We have crossed the last red line in Iran because the chants are in support of Prince Reza Pahlavi. How's my audio, guys? Let me know so that I could explain all of this in a way that you might not hear anywhere else, in a level of detail that is going to be too nerdy maybe for some of you guys, but we're going to go dig into the deep details and analyze the chants and explain to you guys why this is a big deal, okay? But before I do that, I wanted to start with the video that I like the most, and then we're gonna go start from the beginning to end. This video, I'm gonna start with one of my favorites, and then we're gonna go through the rest, and then we're gonna come back to this first video I'm gonna show you is so good that I will play it again for the people who are joining us later. That's how good this one is. Okay, so let me actually show you this video. So, oh my, okay. So wait. I'm so excited. Oh my God, guys, you have no idea what a major explosion, what a major event this is in Iran. Okay. And it's not just because people are protesting, it's because what they're saying. Okay. Remember, let me actually give you some context. The red lines. Some of the red lines are not red lines anymore. People protesting against the government, that is not a red line anymore. That's normal. People chanting death to the dictator, that's normal. People, that's not a red line anymore. People chanting that we're done with both the hardliners and the reformists, those are all yesterday's news, okay? All of this is like normal, and even the regime doesn't even fight back against any of this as much as it used to. Taking off the hijab, not as big of a deal as it used to be. Still sometimes you could get in trouble, but all of this stuff is not really an act of protest anymore, given that the regime just allows it, not because the regime has become more compassionate towards the people, or because they have, are modernizing. It's because they're unable, because the Iranian people have become too powerful for the regime to be able to stand against them. So the regime was focused, even guys, even speaking against Islam is not a red line in Iran anymore compared to how it was before. Even speaking against Islam has been normalized. You might not believe this, but it has become very normalized. The red lines are support for Israel and support for Prince Reza Pahlavi. And now look at what the Iranian people are doing. So let's look at this first video. What do you think we're looking at here, guys? These are women. Where are they? Where are they? They are inside a mosque. You guys can hear me even when you can't see me, correct? Is that right? You guys can hear me, right? And they are chanting. And look at this. They're inside a mosque, and they're not wearing hijab inside a mosque, and they are chanting. Let's actually play it. They're chanting Javid Shah inside a mosque. This is these are the ceremony after the murder of Khosrow Alikordi, which was a Prince Reza Pahlavi supporter lawyer by the regime. So this is his the ceremony for his death, and these are women inside Iran, inside a mosque, shouting Javid Shah against the regime inside a mosque, which Javid Shah means long live the king. Wait, let's go from the beginning again. Watch this. It's amazing. It's amazing. Oh. So this is that was the women's section of the mosque. Now this is the men's section of the mosque. Okay, so let's see if the men could match that. So they're saying Javid Shah as well. All right, so that was that. Let's go to this one, next video. Hold on. So I'm just gonna, that one I maximize the image because I wanted you to see the whole thing, but the rest I'm just gonna stay on and play and translate what people are chanting. So they're chanting Reza Reza Pahlavi in as Shoar Milli, which means Reza Reza Pahlavi, this is our national chant. So the name Reza Pahlavi is the national chant. Guys, these are radical chants. Okay? These are, and let me tell you how radical this is. People are doing this right after the regime killed a couple of Iranians specifically for supporting Prince Reza Pahlavi. Because the regime was like, okay, I'm going to basically let almost everything else go except this. We're going to find the people who are supporting Prince Reza Pahlavi and kill them. And they killed a couple of people. And in response, people just came out in masses and they're chanting the very thing that the regime is killing people for in a huge number. And I don't know what the regime is thinking now, but this is amazing because this is the last red line. There is no more red lines to cross. This is the last red line. This is why these chants are so radical. Yeah, okay. Kija is doing a good translation saying this is the national chant, Reza Reza Pahlavi. Yeah, isn't the final red line saying Amizra Khai? Well, I mean, the final red line should be for Iran, for something Iranian, right? It should be something. I mean, I think the final, because I think as much of is the Israeli support for Iranian people is a big deal, but I think the major threat to the regime, even more than Israel, is the Iranian people. I mean, that's what Netanyahu said. Netanyahu, for example, said that yes, the regime in Iran, they fear the Iranian people even more than Israel. And what do the Iranian people, what is the symbol of the Iranian people? It's Prince Reza Pahlavi. So I think the final red line is Reza Pahlavi. All right, so let's go this one. So what is this? Let me read the text. Valiahd kojai be dad ma biayi. So here they're chanting, and by the way, all of this is in Mashhad, Iran, which is the holiest city in Iran. It's basically where the burial ground of the eighth Imam of Shia Muslims are, which is Imam Reza. That's why there's a shrine there. That's why it's a very holy city. And this is where all of these is coming from, right? So they're saying, Valiah kojai bedad ma biayi. So basically they're saying, Prince, where are you? Come help us. Basically, they're asking for the prince to come and help the people. So watch this. Oh, Pahlavi kojai bedad ma biayi as well. All right, so let's look at this one. Come on. So they're chanting that this is the year of blood, and Sayyid Ali, meaning Khamenei, he's going to fall. So they're saying this is the year of blood, and Khamenei will fall. That's the chant. So they're saying ایران که شاه نداره حساب کتاب نداره. So they're saying basically an Iran without a king is chaotic. I think is that a good, Kija, is that a good translation? Iran ke shah nadare, hisab kitab nadare. So they're saying basically everything is up in the air. When Iran doesn't have a king, everything else up is in the air. Something. Okay, so this chant is a bit controversial. Okay, so but again, it is what it is. You could accept it or not, doesn't matter. They're chanting that we are. Oh, but okay, so they're chanting that. And by the way, let me actually give you some context. The word Aryan in the Nazis made the word Aryan mean something different than what it means in Iran, right? So in the West, the Nazis turned the word Aryan to mean something racist, racist, okay? But in Iran, the word Aryan refers to something that is cultural, that is based on people with certain values and understanding. Okay, it has nothing to do with blood or race. Just like the swastika was taken from East Asia, and in East Asia it actually refers to something else, and the Nazis turned it into something vile and disgusting. The word Aryan also comes from Iran. Iran means the land of Aryans, and the Nazis turned it into something vile and disgusting, right? So please, when you hear this chant, please don't think that they're referring to the Aryan race the way Nazis are referring to it, okay? So it means completely, they just ruined it, right? So listen to this chant now. So they're chanting, we are Aryans, we don't worship Arabs. And by that, they mean Islam, right? So they're saying that we are, so when they say we don't worship Arabs, that means that our religion is not Islam. So we are Aryans, we don't worship Arabs. So, and then they say, Pahlavi, where are you? Come and help us. Okay, so that's good. Oh. Cat Lover is saying the last. Okay, apparently there is another red line. And Cat Lover in the chat is saying the last red line is the Ayatollah's underwear. Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Cat Lover. That's a Iranian joke. Okay, but thank you. That's a okay. Let me know if that makes sense in English as well. But that was really funny on the Persian side. All right, so let's look at some other videos of people chanting in the streets. Hold on, let me see what we're looking at here. Okay, so they're chanting, this is the last battle and Pahlavi will return to Iran. So they're saying, this is the last battle, Pahlavi will return to Iran. So they're saying death to the dictator, marg bar dictator, which means death to the dictator. Yeah, somebody in the chat saying religion is not a race. Yes, I agree with that. For a lot of Iranians, though, Islam is an Arabic religion, so that's why they're chanting that. So that lady is shouting. By the way, all of this is in Mashhad, Iran. Okay, so she's saying death to the Islamic Republic. Oh, this is a good one. I don't know if it makes sense in English. Okay, Shah miyad be khune, Zahak sarnegune. Okay, so Zahak is this evil villain in Iranian mythology, right? It's kind of like the Voldemort of Iranian mythology, right? So for a lot of Iranians, when they say Zahak, they're referring to the mullahs or to Khamenei, right? So they're saying Shah miyad bekhune Zahak sarnegune, means the Shah will come home and Zahak will fall, meaning that the mullahs are the king is going to come home and the mullahs are going to be toppled. That's what the chant means. Comrade Shifty saying, hope 2026 will be a year of freedom to the people of Iran. Yes, I hope so too, comrade. We're trying. By the way, this has been big. These protests, I will show you. And a lot of people say that, oh, why aren't the Iranian people doing anything? I mean, they're full of shit. You can see that they are. Oh, look at this. Amir, thank you so much for the super chat saying the Iranians are the bravest of all. Khamenei, it's time to go. The throne belongs to the righteous Shah. Yeah, and you're going to say they're the bravest. Please, yeah, this is actually a very important point, because please understand that these protests came right after the Islamic Republic killed a couple of supporters of Prince Reza Pahlavi to make an example of them, telling the Iranian people that even though there's many things that have been normalized, this is not normal. I'm not going to let you. This is the line I'm not going to let you cross. So this is why these protests. So if you see somebody not wearing a hijab right now in Iran, that is still brave, but not as brave as it used to be. Okay. But saying Javid Shah, saying anything in support of Prince Reza Pahlavi, that's the demonstration of bravery right now in Iran, because there's real consequences to that. Shah miyad bekhune, the king is coming home. Zahak sarnegune, the Zahak will be top. Okay, let's do this one. I think we did this one, didn't we? Or did we not? Hold on. Oh, no, this is a new one, but it's the same chant. It says, این آخرین نبرد پهلوی برمیگرده. This is basically saying this is the final battle. Pahlavi will return. Look at the crowd. All right, let's go to the next video. What is this one? Okay, so this one is also saying that this is our national chant. Reza Reza Pahlavi. Reza Pahlavi. Reza Reza Pahlavi. Reza Reza Pahlavi. Reza Reza Pahlavi. Guys, a lot of you didn't, I've been telling you for years that the main support in Iran is for Prince Reza Pahlavi. And a lot of other channels weren't paying attention. A lot of other English channels weren't paying attention to this. But now it's becoming so undeniable. But if you've been watching this channel, you have been ahead of other people, right? Like, at least on English-speaking media, you knew how big the Pahlavi movement in Iran is. And if you look at other people talking about the Iran opposition to the Islamic Republic, you wouldn't know that. But now it's becoming so undeniable. And you guys could see, you guys could be like, oh, I'm glad I watched this channel because I knew this before it became this obvious, right? So let's go here. Okay, okay, yeah. Oh, this one. Reza Shah Ruhed Shad. Let's watch this one. So Reza Shah is the first Pahlavi king. So they're saying Reza Shah, rest in peace. Kija, is that the best translation? Reza Shah Ruhed Shad. Like, may Reza Shah, like King Reza, may your spirit be happy. May your spirit be at peace. Oh, Sarah is telling me to point out that Armin, please mention that Mashhad is the city of Khamenei. Khamenei is from Mashhad, born and raised there. That's a very good point, Sarah. I didn't even think about that. I'm so glad that you said that. This is Khamenei's home city. Wow, that must hurt. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you for pointing that out. That is actually a very important point. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me see. I have more videos. My God, I have so many videos. Where is this? Number 9, number 8. Okay, now I have to. So these parts were simple and obvious, and everybody understood. But now we need to get into some detail. Now I need to use this opportunity to educate you guys about Iranian anti-government movement politics in a nuance, in a detailed way that might be, I don't know, let me know if it's too nerdy for you guys or if it's too much information, because I know this is not going to be as like, oh my God, it's just as simple as like Iranian people rising up. I want to show you, let me know if you appreciate this level of detail, okay? So, or if you want me to go to this much detail or not, right? So this lady, hold on, let's watch this. You see that lady with the in white and that is getting up in the curly with the curly hair? So you know who that is? That lady and woman? Her name is Narges Mohammadi. Does anybody here know who Narges Mohammadi is? Narges Mohammadi. Narges Mohammadi is the Iranian woman who got the Nobel Peace Prize, who is constantly arrested by the Islamic Republic as somebody who she got the Nobel Peace Prize for fighting, apparently for based on what they're saying, for freeing Iran and fighting for against the regime, for freedom, for the Iranian people. Okay, that's what the people understand of her. Okay, that's what people say about her, right? Do you know her, and what do you guys think of her? Let me know, because I need to clarify. Oh my God, Nail Bunny, you're amazing. How does Nail? I don't know how Nail Bunny has all of this information. She's saying lying, backstabbing bitch. Exactly. Wow, Nail Bunny is, yeah. So scum. Exactly, she's scum. So the reason why she's very famous and she's getting the Nobel Peace Prize and she's getting arrested by the Islamic Republic is because the Islamic Republic is trying to turn her into an engineered opposition of themselves instead of Prince Reza Pahlavi, right? She is, and while she's in prison, she's given access to Western journalists, including that celebrity. What was her name? Angelina Jolie, right? And she's pushed by the Islamic Republic and many other people so that she's well celebrated by Westerners, including getting the Nobel Peace Prize, just so that they could increase her profile to foreigners and to the Iranian people, just so that, because the Islamic Republic knows that its days are numbered and the only way for it to survive is to create a fake opposition so it could rebrand under the umbrella of the fake opposition instead of being toppled, right? This is why the Iranian people are not just going to be satisfied with social freedoms like being able to drink alcohol or removing the hijab or going to concert and dancing in the streets. That is not what they're fighting for. They're fighting for toppling the regime. They want full freedom, not just like surface level freedoms on just a few things, because they know that the regime is going to give that to them as a way to satisfy them so it could stay in power. And Nargis Mohammadi is one of her and Tajzadeh and Rouhani are three ways of the regime trying to figure out if it could rebrand under, with a different, mask, right? And the Iranian people recognize that, and also her ideology actually does represent what caused the 1979 Islamic Revolution. So she's a leftist, she's close to the MEK, and she's also close to the reformist mullahs, which is basically the three things that the Iranian people hate the most. So with that context, remember, she came here from Tehran when she realized that when she saw that there's a protest happening in Mashhad, she came to try to take advantage of it and come here and pretend like she's the leader of these people chanting against the regime. Okay, so let's see what happens. So you guys understood that? Let me know if you understood that, because I want you to make sure that you understand the context before I play this. Okay, so let's watch what happens. So people are already protesting and chanting, and she comes up to speak. Okay, so there's a woman here in this crowd. She says, "Get that garbage down from there. Bring her down. Bring that garbage down." Okay, that's what one woman is saying. And remember, guys, this is not the Iranian opposition outside of Iran. These are people inside Iran, inside the holiest city in Iran. Okay, so one woman says, "Bring that garbage down from there." Somebody saying, "Is Tumash Salehi also controlled opposition?" Unfortunately, the regime turned him into that. Yes, unfortunately. The only person we could trust is Prince Reza Pahlavi.
دوستان، همراهان، مادران و پدران داغدار، مدافعان عدالت و پاسداران آزادی.
Okay, let's watch this. Okay, so this is again when she was coming up to speak, and then the people are, because they know, look at this, look at what they're chanting. Listen. Okay, so the Iranian people there are chanting King Reza Pahlavi. And this to me shows how intelligent they are, because they know that Nargis Mohammadi is being made as a cover for foreigners, right? So they gave her the Nobel Peace Prize. They're giving her access to foreign journalists, including Angelina Jolie, because the regime is being cornered and they're very weak, and they're trying to get Nargis Mohammadi out there so that you guys will buy her as like representing the Iranian people, so that you choose her as the hero of the Iranian people instead of Prince Reza Pahlavi. So because the Iranian people know that she's being made for you who speak English, when she's coming up, they chant in English. They use an English chant, so that you know who their choice is. So, and by the way, Nargis Mohammadi is a leftist, so her movement, her people are oppose anything that has to do with Pahlavi, anything that has to do with Pahlavi. So when she's coming up, mentioning Pahlavi is a chant against her. So while she's coming up, they start chanting King Reza Pahlavi, and they say it in English. And that's for you guys so that you know that they don't support her. They support King Reza Pahlavi, right? So this is actually genius. The fact that they do it in English is actually very intelligent. Watch this. So you hear that? You hear that? They're saying King Reza Pahlavi. Okay, so now they're chanting Marg bar se fasid, Mullah chapi mujahid. Okay, anybody know what that means? So while Nargis Mohammed is coming up to speak, they're chanting Marg bar se fasid, Mullah chapi mujahid, which means death to 3 corruptions: Mullah, leftists, and MEK. Okay, so they're saying death to the 3 corruptions. These are the 3 things that the Iranian people have identified of what has ruined Iran. The 3 things that the Iranian people, this is a very famous chant among Iranians, and these are the 3 things that the Iranian people hate, which is the 3 things that has ruined Iran: the mullahs, the leftists, and the MEK, right? So the reason why they're chanting that when she's coming up, because she is all 3 of them. She is a leftist. Her and her entire family are tied to the MEK, and she is friends of the reformists, which is basically the mullahs. And that's why they're chanting that, because as soon as she comes up, a lot of people accuse her of being MEK. So that's why they're chanting that when she's coming up. So this is, look at this. Mag bar sefa. By the way, for people who are new here, did they know? Let me know if you knew how much Iranian people hate leftists. Like they actually, I think they actually hate leftists more than they hate the Islamic Republic. I don't know. Did you guys know that? How many people knew that here? It's like this is one of the most famous chants in Iran. Death to the 3 corruptions: the mullahs, the leftists, the MEK. Let me know if you knew this before. They're saying Javid Shah. They're basically trying to make sure that when they're trying to make Nargis Mohammadi big, they're trying to make sure that everybody understands that they're not having it. They're saying all the chants that goes against her movement. And now they're also chanting, this is the final battle, Pahlavi will return. Yeah, Nail Bunny in the chat saying, beware the unholy alliance between the red and black. Exactly. Yeah, somebody in the chat saying they hate the leftists. They have a lot more in common with Israel than I knew. That's why they love Israel. That's why Iranian people every day they're becoming closer and closer to the nation of Israel. By the way, this video that I'm showing you is going viral on Iranian social media, and people are celebrating it, and people are saying that this is the death of the regime's attempt to rebrand. And now we have so much evidence for what the Iranian people want. Nobody, including Haaretz, remember, guys, these people are who are chanting that the Pahlavi will return. These are the same people that the Haaretz called bots. Okay, like how are you going to call these bots now? All right, it's like this is like these what happened in Mashhad is it was such a big event because it did 2 things at the same time. One, now every single one of us that were telling the whole world that the Iranian people want Pahlavi, now we have so much evidence, because before it was just it was a lot of polls. I mean, they were scientifically collected polls, but a lot of people might think that they are lies. But now we have all of this to demonstrate that. And also, it also shows through the foreigners that people like Nargis Mohammadi don't represent what the Iranian people want, because this bitch, her picture was posted by United States Foreign Ministry's website as a hero of the Iranian people just recently. I think it was just 2 weeks ago or something, if I remember correctly. Which is like, what the fuck? Like, Iranian people were so angry. Like, this is Trump's Foreign Ministry's website posting Nargis. Like, are you guys, like, hello? Are you guys falling for regime, the Islamic Republic's propaganda? So now that you have these videos, it's a clear message to the world that no, this is not. The Iranian people are telling you that this is not our leader. This is just the regime's way of competing with Prince Reza Pahlavi and trying to steal the revolution in his favor so that they could just rebrand. And now we have so much, and this is why these videos are going viral on Iranian social media. Somebody in the chat, is saying free Palestine. Yeah, actually, if you want to free Palestine, freeing Iran from the mullahs will help Israel to free Gaza from Hamas. So if you want to free so-called Palestine, I mean, free Gaza would be a better way to say it, because there's no such thing as Palestine. But if you want to free Gaza, we're moving in the right direction. Okay, so I think if the Islamic Republic falls, not only there wouldn't be an Islamic regime to support Hamas in Gaza, we could free the people from Gaza. I think the new Iranian government might actually even help Israel in fighting terrorism in the Middle East. So yeah, it would be so much easier to free Gaza from Hamas if the Islamic Republic falls. So she was trying to speak, but people were drowning her out. People are calling me traitor in the chat. If you want to call me traitor to Iran in the chat, you should be calling all these people here chanting traitors as well. Oh, thank you so much. We got a super chat saying, Armin, you're doing such a great job. You got all the Arza Shibots to speak English. Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, something very interesting happened here. Okay, let me actually explain this to you in detail. This is very, very interesting. Guys, you guys are becoming Iranian politics experts by listening to this. So let me tell you what happened here, okay? Okay, so look at what she did. So Nargis Mohammadi, she understood that this crowd is very pro Prince Reza Pahlavi. Okay, so what she could do to win people over and join the revolution, join the national revolution of the Iranian people against the Islamic Republic, what she could do is to just accept the leadership of Prince Reza Pahlavi and unite with the rest of the Iranian people. Honestly, anybody who does that, whatever their history is, we should be forgiving and accept them with open arms. Okay, so if Nargis Mohammadi tomorrow comes and says Javid Shah, King Reza Pahlavi, and accepts the leadership of Prince Reza Pahlavi and his plan, then we would be like, okay, welcome to the movement, right? But she doesn't do that, but she tries to do something that she thinks might appease the crowd right now. What she does instead, because she understands that these people are just basically Reza Pahlavi's movement. So she starts saying Majid Reza Rahnavard. Majid Reza Rahnavard is is one of our heroes who during the protests killed two of the regime's officers because they were attacking the people in his neighborhood. And he had a tattoo of the lion and the sun, and he was pro monarchy and pro Pahlavi. And that's why a lot of people, and by the way, he's the person who, before he was hanged by the regime, when the regime, they asked him what they brought him in front of the TV to repeat what he said to the regime officers by saying that after I die, don't read the Quran for me. Play happy music instead. Don't pray for me. Don't read the Quran. Put happy music and dance and celebrate. And the regime played that on TV to try to attack him by saying, like, look, this person hates the Quran, apparently. But when he did that, a lot of Iranian people fell more in love with him that he said that. And so it backfired. The regime thought that this might make Iranian people hate him, but the Iranian people loved him for that, right? So Majid Reza Rahnavard is a national hero who died for fighting the regime, who was executed. He was hanged to death for fighting for the Iranian people. And the entire movement that supports Prince Reza Pahlavi consider him a hero, and they love him. Okay. So what Nargis Mohammadi is doing here is because she understands that she has lost the crowd, and these people are on Pahlavi's side, and these are not, the Iranian people are not going to be fooled by people like her anymore. So she says that if I say Majid Reza Rahnavard, because from all the fallen heroes of the protests of Iranian people, she picked the name that she knew that the crowd would love the most. This crowd would love the most, which is also an admission that the Pahlavi movement has taken over, because she recognizes it by shouting the name Majid Reza Rahnavard, which is a name that these people would love. She also is admitting that this is a crowd that is on Pahlavi's side. But she says that thinking that she could gain the crowd by repeating after her Majid Reza Rahnavard. But if you pay attention at first, some people in the crowd love that and they say yes, Majid Reza Rahnavard. But then some other people realize that she's using his name, and they change the chant because they don't want her, because she's not going to, she might say Majid Reza Rahnavard's name, but she will not go as far as mentioning Prince Reza Pahlavi's name or saying Javid Shah. So because the crowd all of a sudden realize what she's doing, they change the chant. So with all that content, let me know if this is too much detail or if you guys want this level of detail. So watch this. So see, the crowd actually started saying Majid Reza Rahnavard. Okay, so then some people are saying, no, we all say King Reza Pahlavi. So see, it didn't work. The crowd said, like, no, you don't get to do that to us. And the crowd starts saying King Reza Pahlavi, King Reza Pahlavi. So they didn't let her lead the chant by saying Majid Reza Rahnavard. The crowd changed the chant into, King Reza Pahlavi. If you dare say this with us. You see how smart this is? Right? You see, this is the crowd didn't fall for it. Instead of letting her dictate the chant, they picked their own chant and they said King Reza Pahlavi. Look at this. So they are saying Majid Reza Rahnavard, but the crowd is saying King Reza Pahlavi instead. Okay, guys, if you understood what just happened here, you understand Iran and Iranian people more than most people. If you understood the information that I gave you, you are now ahead of most Middle East experts right now that are giving you information about any of this. If you understood what I just said, let me know if my explanation was understandable. We got a super chat saying, "Love how Westerners can no longer deny that Pahlavism and Zionism are strictly a domestic movement growing inside the country." Oh yeah, it's not basically. Yes, it is. It is domestic. Yes, fantastic. Yes, it's not that fantastic. Okay, thank you so much for the super chat. All right, let me get some more videos. Guys, we are on this channel, we're on a different level. We're on a different level. Let me know if you appreciate that, if you like that. Okay, so for people who yes, let me actually watch this from a different angle. This is the same thing from a different angle. This was a big deal. So yeah, that's Nargis Mohammadi. Here. Let me see, what number was that? Okay, so for people who might be new here, let me show you the favorite video that I played at the beginning of the stream. Okay, so let's look at this. Okay, so these are women in Iran, in Mashhad, in the holiest city in Iran, inside a mosque, many of them without hijab. So this is the women's section of the mosque. And the reason why they're inside the mosque, because this is the ceremony for Khosrow Alikordi, who was killed, who was a lawyer, who was killed by the regime because he was supporting Prince Reza Pahlavi. Okay, so that's why they're in the mosque. And let's listen to the woman saying Javid Shah inside the mosque. Again, I can't believe I'm saying this. Inside the mosque in Iran, in the holiest city in Iran, woman without hijab chanting Javid Shah. Listen to this.
Javid Shah! Javid Shah! Javid Shah! Javid Shah! Javid Shah! Javid Shah! Javid Shah!
Okay, so that was the women's section, and this is the men's section. So watch this. Javid Shah. They're also chanting Javid Shah, which means long live the king. This is absolutely crazy. Please understand that supporting anything Pahlavi related is crossing all the red lines by the regime. Like it cannot get worse than this for the regime. There's no way that it could get worse than this for the regime. So we had, during the protest, we had regime officials showing up. Oh, this is actually beautiful to watch because this is Iranian people chanting Javid Shah in front of the regime officers. So you look, this is the armed forces of the regime, and they're chanting Javid Shah right in front of the armed forces. Wow, this is crazy. We got another super chat saying, "This what happens to someone picked by the Norwegian Nobel Peace delegation to lead Iran." We want okay, by the way, this is a fellow Iranian who's saying that. Basically, he's saying we Iranians are not going to accept Westerners deciding who our leaders should be, who's the leader of the revolution. We have chosen Prince Reza Pahlavi, and we're not going to let the Norwegian Nobel Prize delegation to pick who leads Iran. She continues by saying, we won't settle for anything less than redoing the Islamic Revolution. Fantastic. Beautifully said. Thank you for the super chat. That's amazing. And then let me remove the star. All right. So, yes. By the way, isn't this great? Look at this, because the regime kills for this. The regime doesn't kill for women removing their hijab. The regime kills for supporting Pahlavi, and now they're saying this in front of the armed forces. Oh my god, it's so, guys, can somebody send this video to Haaretz? and tell them, like, are these bots as well? Are these bots? Hey, Haaretz, are these bots? Are these Iranian bots or are these real people? I didn't know the Iranians had such great technology that they make their bots so lifelike, so much like like real humans. Like you can't even tell the difference. These are Iranian bots, by the way, guys, according to Haaretz for some reason. So let's actually, you know, a lot of Iranians make fun of Haaretz these days. It's like, hey guys, I'm a bot. I'm in the streets. I'm writing Javid Shah on the wall because Haaretz accused Iranians who support Prince Reza Pahlavi to be bots. So a lot of Iranians have turned that into a joke. So, for example, they go out and hand out pamphlets with, you know, Prince Reza Pahlavi on it, and sometimes like, "Hi guys, I'm a bot doing my bot things, and I'm handing out leaflets supporting Prince Reza Pahlavi." Okay. So that's a thing now in Iran. Okay, so let's actually listen to Prince Reza Pahlavi himself responding to all of it. So Prince Reza Pahlavi, he himself responded to the protests that happened in Mashhad. So let's listen to him. Let's see what he said.
درود میفرستم به همین حنان عزیزم و به خصوص مردم شهر مشهد.
So he's saying that I send durud, I salute or say hi to Iranians, especially to the people of Mashhad.
دیدم که به چه شکلی با وجود سرکوب نظام با شهامت کامل در مقابل آنها ایستادید.
I saw how you stood up against the regime with absolute bravery, even though the regime was trying to suppress you. You stood up against them.
و در یادبود زنده یاد خسرو علیکردی شعارهای ضد رژیم و به نفع من دادید.
And I saw that how in the memory of Khosrow Alikordi you chanted against the regime and in favor of me, like you supported me in those chants.
از همه شما صمیمانه سپاسگزارم.
By the way, he used to be much more like he's now more open about accepting how many Iranian people are supporting him, because he used to be more like shy about saying this, but because it becomes so undeniable, he's like, a lot of people think like he's coming to grab power, but if you actually know his history, he's very like, the Iranian people have to support him so much for him to sometimes come and accept that he's being supported so much. Like, he's actually very humble. He's very humble, and he always wants everything he does. He wants to wait and see if that's what the Iranian people want. He's very democratic. He always wants to see if the Iranian people give him permission to do something, or if he is actually representing them or not, if they're giving him permission to represent them. Like, he is very, very humble, and he always waits for the Iranian people to really want him to do something, to do anything. Like, he's the very opposite of a dictator, and a lot of people call him a dictator. Like, he's one of the most democratic people I know, like sometimes even too democratic maybe, but he's like is a people's person. He's very, very much anyways. But like, the reason why I'm saying that is, for me, because I follow him a lot and I listen to him, for me, when he says that, thank you, like, I saw you chanted in my favor, for me this is like, oh my god, he said that. You actually, like, because he used to not mention these things, but he's now accepting it. Like, he's saying like, thank you, I saw that you chanted in my favor, right? So it makes more sense if you know his history.
ضد رژیم و به نفع من دادید. از همه شما صمیمانه سپاسگزارم.
Like, I thank you all. I thank you all so
امیدوار
much.
هستم که تمام تلاش‌ها همصدایی خودتون رو حفظ بکنید. مقابله
He's saying, I hope that during these fights you keep your voices together,
بکنید با سرکوبگران و
that you fight against the suppression,
خواستار آزادی بدون قید و شرط هر کسی که دستگیر شده یا زندانی شده.
and that you and he says that I hope you keep fighting for anybody who is a political prisoner, anybody who gets arrested. So he is even it's very interesting because I think he's also mentioning Nargis Mohammadi, because Nargis Mohammadi keeps getting arrested by the regime. And it's interesting because the people, Prince Reza Pahlavi is very kind to all the people who constantly oppose him, right? So he says like these people, we like he's asking his followers to want them to be freed as well, right? So even though they are never as kind to him, like he supports all of them and he wants to all of them to be free, all of them to come out of jail, even though a lot of these people oppose him, right? And he's asking his followers to please also to just want all political prisoners to be free, all of them, right?
در این مورد باش پیروزی از آن شماست.
He's saying victory belongs to you.
به امید دیدار هر چیز زودتر در وطن عزیزمان.
And in hopes that we all meet each other inside our country together, right? So, guys, by the way, the idea of Prince Reza Pahlavi one day coming to Iran makes a lot of Iranian people tear up. Like just the image of one day, you know, Prince Reza Pahlavi being on a plane on a flight to Tehran, right? And the Iranian people just waiting for him to land in Tehran and welcome him back home one day is something that makes a lot of Iranians just tear up to think if that's possible or not, right? One day. Yeah. So I don't know, you know. So a lot of armed forces showed up. So let's look at this. A lot of armed forces. So the regime armed forces were there, but I don't know what they're going to do anymore, because I think these rounds of protests showed that years of attempt by the Islamic Republic to introduce a different opposition that was different from the one from the one that is supporting Prince Reza Pahlavi, it all went down the toilet. Like none of them ended up working. What is this one? Oh, this is one of the chants that Prince Reza Pahlavi suggested, and that's why this is a chant chosen by Prince Reza Pahlavi. Okay, so it says "Ma millat kabirim, Iran pas migirim." So it basically translates to "We are a great nation. We will take back Iran." Basically, take it back from the mullah. This is what the Iranian people consider the mullahs to be, a foreign entity that has occupied Iran. So they think like what they think is that Iran, the nation of Iran, has been occupied, and we will take it back one day from the mullahs. Ma millat kabiri means we are a great nation. Iran pas migirim, we will take back Iran. I think that's the brother of the man who died, who was killed by the regime. So they're chanting that they will continue Khosrow's way, the man who was killed by the regime. They're saying that they will continue his path. got a super chat saying, if this is the level of Pahlavism in the second religious city of the country, a capital of Shia Islam, just imagine Pahlavi sentiments across the country. Yes, guys. So the two most religious cities in Iran are Mashhad and Qom. And I would argue actually that Mashhad is even more religious than Qom, because the shrine of Imam Reza, which is the eighth Imam of Shia Muslims, is in Mashhad. Basically, Mashhad is a holy city that people go for pilgrimage to. Qom doesn't have anything like that. Qom is just basically the place where mullahs go to study to become mullahs. So I would say Mashhad is even holier than Qom, right? So I think it's the most religious city in Iran. And if this is the level of support for Pahlavi in Mashhad, imagine the level of support for Pahlavi everywhere else. I mean, honestly, I think the more religious the city is, the more people are tired of the Islamic Republic. So that might actually work in our favor, right? Because I saw there's so much support against it, so much, sentiments against the regime in Qom as well. For example, there's so many protests that comes from there as well. Anyways, so let me see if I covered everything. Yeah, I think I covered everything. What is this? I just love this one. This is my favorite. This chant, because the chant is so powerful. Where is it? Not this one. Let's just do this one one more time. Let's just do this one one more time, because the chant is just, when they say Javid Shah, just look at the passion in that voice. By the way, guys, please like the stream so that more people end up seeing this. But just listen to the passion when they say Javid Shah. Watch this.
Javid Shah! Javid Shah! Javid Shah! Javid Shah! Javid Shah! Javid Shah! Javid
Okay, so good. Oh, thank you. Oh, I didn't actually understood that. Thank you for explaining it to me. We got a super chat saying, and they compared him, Khosrow Alikordi, to Sarb Daran, who were the resorts against Mongolian invasion. Oh, that makes more sense now. I understand that. Thank you so much for that explanation. Okay, this is great. Okay, so guys, I'm gonna keep this short so that more people will watch this, because I think we covered everything. Just please share this with other people. I need more people to see this. I need more people to see that the Iranian people are united more than anyone else behind the leadership of Prince Reza Pahlavi, and supporting Prince Reza Pahlavi is supporting the Iranian people, and supporting Prince Reza Pahlavi is supporting Israel, is supporting peace in the Middle East. It's the best way to end many of the terrorist movements in the Middle East and across the world. So it's not just good for the Iranian people, it's good for the whole world. It's not just good for Iranian people and Israeli people. Ending the Islamic Republic is the best way to bring more peace to the whole planet. And the best way to end the Islamic Republic is to support the Iranian people. And the best way to support the Iranian people is to support Prince Reza Pahlavi. Okay? So if you agree that ending the Islamic Republic is good for the world, and then after that, if you agree that the best way to end the Islamic Republic is to support the Iranian people's fight against the Islamic Republic, then you would have to naturally conclude that the best way to do all of this, the best way to support the Iranian people, is to support the leader that they have chosen, which is Prince Reza Pahlavi. This is the only conclusion that you could make from all of this. Okay, so in the same way that supporting Israel is supporting the world, supporting Prince Reza Pahlavi is supporting your world, and it's also supporting Israel. So please, I need more people to understand this, and I also need more people to understand the regime's attempt to introduce other leaders, other fake leaders, as fake oppositions against itself, because a lot of people in the West are falling for it, including the foreign ministry of the United States. Okay, so that's why it's really important that we spread this information, because even even Trump's cabinet is falling for this, which is a shame. That's why I need your help to spread this. Oh my God, we got another super chat. Thank you so much. Wow, that's a generous super chat. Thank you so much, Masood, saying thank you, Armin, for exposing the truth and challenging media narratives that center regime-backed figures like the noble, instead of the Iranian people's choice of leadership and their path towards secular democratic Iran. Well, thank you, Masood, for saying that. It's good that you guys are saying that. I'm really grateful to the Iranians in the chat that are saying this, because it shows the other people that this is serious, that the Iranian people, this is what the Iranian people want, and the Iranian people correctly recognize when the regime is trying to introduce a fake opposition. And again, if you don't believe me or the Iranians in the chat, or like Masood, for example, in the chat, thank you again, Masood. If you don't believe us, just look at the people who are chanting in the streets of Iran against Narges Mohammadi, they called her, they said death to Mullah Chapul Mujahedi. When she came and started to speak, they chanted death to mullahs, leftists, and the MEK. So you could see that this is not just Iranians outside of Iran saying this. This is Iranians inside Iran that are saying this as well. Okay. Yes, and please don't forget Beta Shafei, free Beta Shafei. Fantastic. Thank you so much, comrade. And also, guys, Beta is in prison right now and under extreme pressure right now. They are actually really mistreating her and torturing her. All of this is because Beta supported Prince Reza Pahlavi, and she knew that this is going to happen to her when she did that. So don't forget Beta. Don't forget Beta. All right, guys, I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna go get ready for our discussion group. Let me put the link in. So how many? In about 15 minutes, we're gonna have our discussion group. So, and we're gonna have a group call there where we all talk to each other. It's free if you want to come join and talk about this and any other political discussion. So the link is in the chat. The link is also in the description. We have a free discussion group where we have daily group calls there where we all talk about anything political related. So if you're interested in that, come join us there. The link is in the chat. It's also in the description. Neil Bunny, you should come. I didn't. You haven't been there for a while. I miss hearing your takes because you have some really good takes. Oh, thank you. Amir just gave us a super chat and said Javid Shah. Well, thank you, Amir. Appreciate that. You're amazing. Thank you, guys. Oh wow, we got 10 super chats today. I appreciate all of you guys, and yeah, I'm gonna go get ready for our group call. So you know what to say. Say it with me. I'm Israel Chai, Javid Shah. See you guys. Thank you, guys.